Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Maya with Simply Bloom. I wanted to do a quick August garden tour. As much as I love early spring gardens, there's something so special about like that late summer creeping into early fall gardens, and it's just absolutely stunning. Now there's a tremendous amount of work that still needs to be done in my garden, but I want to look past that for a second and focus on the beauty in my garden, which is, it's so hard to do sometimes. And I actually love having people come over because as much as I see all the projects and all the work that needs to happen, typically guests that are coming over, they don't see that. They just see the beauty and the flowers and the plants and the trees, and it's kind of like a breath of fresh air, and you're like, oh yeah, it really is beautiful. So let's see what there is. So starting off in the teardrop, I have 6 hydrangea standards that kind of go around the outside, 3 on this side, 3 on the opposite side, and they are absolutely beautiful. The 2 end ones on either side are phantoms, so phantom and phantom over there. You can't really see the other side. And then there's 2 in the middle. Those are limelight hydrangeas, and I have to say, I think I like the phantoms a little bit better. They start to bloom. Now they've all caught up, but the phantoms do bloom a little bit earlier, and then the overall shape, I've been trying to prune the limelight so it's a little bit better of a shape, but the phantoms just have more of that globe on top and just covered in blooms, where the limelights have a little bit of work. But same with this one. I've got a little hole right here, but look at the flowers. Holy smokes, and pollinators love them. In between every hydrangea standard, we have whiskey barrels. You can see whiskey barrels all along with the most beautiful purple fountain grass as the centerpiece. We have some bullseye salmon geraniums, and planted between those is lemon coral sedum. Right behind those, oh, I see some things that need water. Not happy in my rock garden. We have a Ligularia, which I love. It's the Desdemona Ligularia. I love these because they look like lily pads on land, and like big leaves, beautiful. The underside is more of a deeper burgundy color. I love it. Absolutely love it. I do have some roses in here. Sun's just starting to open. This is a Princess Alexandra of Kent. You guys, I love roses so much, and I want to make them work so bad in my garden. Typically they die back completely to the ground every single year, push new growth, and the blooms get so big and the new growth is just like so weak and flimsy, they all just completely flop on the ground. So I don't love that, and I'm debating if I want to dig them all up and put them in containers, so then I could potentially move the containers like in my garage for the winter. I feel like that's the only way. I'm not sure. Here we have a really pretty lavender chrysanthemum. Gorgeous. This rose is doing better. It's a little bit more stocky. This is a Eustacia vi. And we do have a foxglove I planted in here. I planted like 40 foxglove. This is a Dalmatian purple. It's the only one blooming so far and kind of short. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the rest of them. And I do have some echinacea kind of planted throughout there. Oh, and I totally forgot about giving you an update on our willow tree. So I transplanted a willow, oh, when was that? About a month ago, and I thought I killed it. I thought I killed it. It was in a pot still. It was in a pot for 3 years. The roots went through the pot into the ground, and I had to break those roots to get it up. After a week, the whole tree turned brown, but look, there's new growth. New growth coming. And there were a couple limbs that stayed green, so I think she's gonna make it. When I planted it, I had said that I'd never seen a willow here in northern Minnesota reach full potential. They can get, 40 feet wide. And it's like, I've never seen that, which I hadn't. Typically, I'd seen them reach about 20 feet wide, and I just figured it's so cold here, they don't, they don't thrive real well. Well, we have some road construction and I had to take a detour down this back road. Beautiful, beautiful back road. And I see this willow, massive willow, like over 40 feet wide. And I was driving with my husband. I'm like, uh-oh. Like, do you see that willow? He was like, yeah, if ours gets that big, it's gonna take over the rock garden, the maple, and our driveway, because our driveway ends right here. So now we're worried. Now we're both a little bit worried. And so it's kind of like, do I try to transplant it again? The only other spot would be in our horse pasture, which I don't want it out there because I want it up here where I can see it. We'll see what we're gonna do. We'll see. We'll decide in the spring. So behind the willow, I had a red splendor, a crabapple. It died and it was sending up some shoots, some suckers from the bottom, which I had braided those. And I told you guys we were gonna chop it down when I planted the willow. I ended up leaving it because just in case the willow died, we could, you know, continue with the suckers. But now that the willow's holding on, we'll see. My husband still wants to leave it going just to see what happens in the spring if we decide to transplant the willow again. But you can see even the original stump or the original trunk is sending up all these shoots, which I don't, you know, I don't want that. I would just chop the original trunk down and keep the shoots, the braided portion. So behind that we have a beautiful autumn blaze maple. Gets so glorious in the fall. Absolutely beautiful. We have a fountain here that is no longer level. It used to be level, but with the harsh winters we have the freezing and unthawing of the ground, and it was not put on a proper gravel base. It is no longer level, so we use it more as a statue, which I absolutely love it. And down here we have a blue diamond, blue spruce. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. This is I gave up. I gave up here. I love the last little bit. I love from the potato vine back, I think is glorious. So potato vine, sun patience, coleus, purple salvia. Up here, I just well, we got weeds. Like I said, I gave up and I just stopped weeding. We have weeds, but I don't like the way petunias. I am so busy. I don't want to take the time to fertilize them. So I haven't fertilized them other than a handful of times this summer, which I know it's my fault. If I were to fertilize, they would look better. I don't. So I think I'm just done with petunias for now. Maybe once all the kids are older and I have more time. Sorry, I had to show you. He has been rubbing through my feet this whole entire time, and he just flopped on his back and was rolling in the dirt. Anyways, once I'm a little bit more free and the kids are older, then I might try away petunias again, because they look really beautiful in most people's gardens. I'm not willing to give them the TLC they need, and they need a lot compared to, you know, my whiskey containers that look beautiful and I've fertilized like 3 times. They look gorgeous. That's what I like. Low maintenance plants. All right, moving on here, we have another hydrangea standard, which is leaning a little bit. Oh, you guys. I love lilies. I love Asiatic lilies, but they get so dang ugly in the end of the year. And I like to leave them until most of the leaves have turned brown, because the bulbs are soaking in that nutrients. But gosh, they're horrible to look at. But I think that's at that point where I can cut it back. But we have an Amber Jubilee 9 bark, which should not have been planted there, but it really is beautiful. I think that's why this hydrangea tree is kind of leaning. It's trying to make space away from that 9 bark. We have some really pretty lamium, chocolate chip ajuga, a couple hostas that I planted tiny ones last year, so it'll take a few years, but eventually these hostas will get like 3 feet wide. Beautiful barberry. I love this barberry. I'm not sure the variety. And then this is part of my dirty little garden secret, couple videos ago. Or was it the last one? I'm getting confused on which order I have come out. Another Limelight. I think this is a Limelight Hydrangea Standard. I love it underplanted with Lamium. A lot of people don't like Lamium. It can be pretty aggressive. It's not too aggressive in my garden, northern Minnesota. So I love it. But some people freak out when they see it in someone else's garden. And then here's Luminary Ultraviolet Phlox, planted with the David phlox behind there. And one of my all-time favorite perennials for this time of year, Turtlehead. I absolutely love them. I think they are so cool, so beautiful. There's some Rytro Echinops and some Tiger Lily. And moving right over here, we have, I can't remember what variety of Legalaria that is, but it's another Legalaria, beautiful. I actually had two right here, and the other one unfortunately did not make it. It died. So, and then there's some Ridiculous Coleus, which I was expecting it to get bigger, but that's okay. Still very beautiful. I love the leaf structure of this lungwort. I planted a bunch of begonias. Around here I have a big carpet of Lamium, some phlox, hostas. I don't know, I just love this bed. And then following over here is another rock garden, which, gosh, so beautiful. Lamium is kind of taking over a little bit. Lamium has taken over a few plants on that side, and it's starting to kind of creep over and take over some creeping phlox and sedum. So I might have to kind of take it back a little bit. However, this was more of a sun area to begin with, and the maple's grown a lot. So maybe I will just leave it because the sedum will kind of suffer, and then I might kind of dig up a little bit of the sedum or take cuttings and start it elsewhere. So I don't completely lose it, but I think the Lamium would be happier in the long run. Right over here, ignore that tarp. We have sheep compost under it, and the tarp's just to keep the weeds off of it. We have a really pretty little haughty hydrangea, and it will turn this gorgeous mauve color, like dusty rose color in the late fall. This bed I struggle with milkweed taking over. You can see there's milkweed, a little bit of a thistle. We'll get there. I have some beautiful daylilies. Can't remember what it's called, but it smells like lilacs to me. Absolutely glorious. I used to be someone who did not like daylilies. I'm really starting to love them now. Behind it is a Phantom Hydrangea Standard. I love Hydrangea Standards, you guys. They're so much easier to fit in than your typical hydrangeas, because some of them get 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. But this, it has like a skinny and narrow, and then it gets wider at top, and it's easier to tuck things underneath. I have some more Turtlehead here that's just starting to color up. Beautiful Serendipity Allium. We have some sedums. Again, I need a mulch over here as well, but what is this, back and black sedum? Oh, you guys, look at that. I'll have to tell my son he's out here. Some beautiful Goldstrom Rudbeckia and some really pretty Bleeding Hearts Heliopsis with some Autumn Fire sedums. I just love this corner. I love it. Love it. This is another really pretty corner. We have some like double echinacea. Joe Pyeweed is just starting to bloom. We have some more tiger lilies, Goldstrom Rudbeckia blooming. Really pretty. I love this ajuga. So pretty. All right, I have a helper now helping with the garden tour. So if you hear any little peeps or squeaks, he's just adding in. All right, I'm kind of skipping over a lot of stuff because we need to get going, but here's some shade So hostas, there's a snake plant back there, that burgundy leaf, or snake root, sorry. And it'll get really pretty white flowers. Hostas, this cage, it's a cage we bring our baby bunnies and just let them eat the grass for a little bit. They're still pretty tiny. Yeah, just lots of really pretty shade bed. And then right here off the garage, I have autumn joy sedum, some echinacea, some Russian sage that no matter what I do flops. I should put maybe like a peony cage around it, and I wonder if that would help it stay up, because it's kind of covering my my yarrow. I think this is yellow firefly yarrow. And then it just kind of repeats itself over here. Some echinacea, the flopped over Russian sage, which smells glorious. This yarrow is a little bit more bare, but not blooming as much. And yeah, that's the bed. Then over here, like I talked about, I cannot stand the look of Asiatic lilies this time of year. So I need to come back and cut them out, but I do like to let their leaves yellow and brown and die back like that, because I think it's beneficial to the bulbs. So it's time. Then I do have a couple foxglove in here. Can't remember, Dalmatian, is it rose? I guess I can't remember. These are glorious. They look so pretty. I have a couple Patriot hostas in the back. I think this is the Monet Weigelia. And then that's all underplanted underneath this Limelight Hydrangea Standard. Now this one has had no pruning whatsoever, and unfortunately I think it's the last year because half of it has died. You can see from this angle, the part closer to the house, it cracked and split and died. So, but it still looks really pretty from the front, but I think I would like to replace it with a new one. All right, you guys, that is it for my August garden tour. There's quite a bit of the garden that I did skip over. It's not necessarily blooming or anything, just kind of the off season. So I need to work on those beds to bring more late summer interest into the garden in those areas. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.